Weekend Classic, the brand new mode in MLB The Show 25, is absolutely broken, and we need to talk about it. Weekend Classic is an extension of ranked season which occurs at the end of each ranked season, all culminating in a 3 to 4 day event which prioritizes your first 6 games to earn some of the best rewards MLB The Show has ever given out for a competitive style mode. And that's great, obviously. A lot of people have been asking for this for a very long time. Madden Ultimate Team, FIFA Ultimate Team, pretty much any other sports game has had something like this, and now MLB The Show finally is welcoming in as well. That's great. My Weekend Classic got off to a bit of a rocky start. Heading into my first game, my game froze. As you can see, Randy Johnson on the mound just endlessly pitching, trying to get warm, waiting until my opponent would get on the field. But obviously, it's just an issue with the game, and with me being on stream, I quit out of it, and thankfully, I'm guessing because no pitch was thrown by either side, didn't count as a loss for me, didn't count for a win for him. Throughout the last couple days, I've heard many people come into my stream and tell me that their games have frozen. And remember, the top rewards are based on your first 6 games. If you get into a freeze off, and for those that don't know what an MLB The Show freeze off is, well, the game freezes, and the only way you're going to win is if you outlast your opponent in not closing the application, closing the game, or shutting off your console. It really does become a standoff of who's going to give up first, who's just going to press the power button on their Xbox, who's going to close the game on their PlayStation, and it doesn't matter what the score was, anything like that. First person to leave loses. And this is a time-limited event. You see the issue here. If you have more games to play and you quit out of the freeze-off, you get tagged for the loss, and instantly you cannot get the top rewards for your league. And sadly, I think everybody knew this was coming. Freeze-offs have been in MLB The Show for years and years. It's comical, really. It's the only game that I really ever see where the game will just straight up freeze. It's terrible. It's been years, and there's really been no improvement. But that isn't even the half of it. The way Weekend Classic works, you are clinched into the league based on your max rating. So coming in, my max rating was 832, I believe, so I went into the Gold 2 League. However, the matchmaking system in the game focuses on your current rating, and your current rating and your max rating can differ, especially if you purposely lost games to tank all the way towards the very bottom end of the rating scale. So what happened, and I've heard many cases of this, is you would have someone who was like maybe a World Series player, and you can tell because they've got the World Series icon and they smurfed. They tanked their rating, purposely lost prior to the Weekend Classic beginning, so their current rating and where they'd match make against other opponents would be around the 200, 300 level. Obviously, it should be almost a guaranteed win unless they match up with someone who did the exact same thing. And all the while, they maintained whatever reward path they had based on their max rating. Play opponents clearly far less skilled than them and essentially have an easy road to getting 6-0, the best rewards in the game. And again, how was this not thought of before? The possibility of this happening. Because what this does, it ruins it for the people towards the bottom. I was so thrilled about Weekend Classic heading into this game and heading into this weekend when it was finally going to happen because, yes, the best of the best players get the best rewards, which makes sense. They should be rewarded for how good they are at the game. They're going to be playing tougher opponents than people down at 300, 400 rating. But Weekend Classic still gives good rewards to people relatively to the rating. So those people at 300-400 are still going to get far greater rewards than they ever would have prior just by playing ranked seasons. But not if they match up with someone who's 1,900 rating. And again, all it takes is one instance of that happening where you clearly had no business playing that player. There's no way you're going to win. And now you can no longer get all your rewards. It's basically a win stolen from you. And to top it all off, the icing on the cake, the leaderboard system, which I will say there is actually built-in protection from people smurfing, doing exactly what I just said. The leaderboard in Weekend Classic is based off rating change, and if you notice at the bottom right there, it mentions if you had a lower rating than your minimum of your league was, you would start off with a negative rating. So again, in that instance, if somebody was 1,000 rating, they tanked to 200 rating, they would start the leaderboard at negative 800, meaning it's almost impossible to actually place and win anything, which is good. But then you lose me again, because the leaderboard, being based off rating change, only accounts for winning games. Losing games doesn't affect your rating. It does. Actually, if you go to your ranked seasons rating, that will change, but not on the leaderboards. So that's exactly why you have someone who is 5-9 being above someone who is 7-4. Somebody 5-9 is above somebody who is 5-1. Did they play better than that person? No, but they just happen to have higher rating change for one reason or another. It could be they began lower within, I'm in gold 2, 800 to 899, and typically the higher you get up, you're going to receive less rating change points per wins. And it's also kind of scaled based on strength of opponent. So if you face someone close to you, you're not going to get a big gain. But if you face someone who's higher up and you wind up winning, you would end up getting more, which again, that makes sense. But what does not make sense is not penalizing for losses. It just doesn't really compute to me how 5-9 could be treated as greater than 5-1. If you want to go number one, if you want to be the top ranked player in your leaderboard, you just play games, because losses don't hurt you. You can lose 100 games and win 20. You'd be number one on your leaderboard. So it just depends. Do you have a lot of time on your hands that weekend? Can you play a lot? If you can, you're going to go number one, or you've got a great chance to, because losses don't penalize you. So past your first 6 games, which those matter, you need to do as good as you can in your first 6. But after you've completed those, game 7, if you go down early, might as well quit, because it's not going to hurt your rating, and you just keep continuing that philosophy. It ruins the whole mode. It's terrible. So it's really frustrating that things like leaderboards are broken. That wasn't thought through. Matchmaking, it essentially promotes you to go down and smurf your opponents, because you can get all your top rewards at your league by facing far lesser players on the rating scale. That shit sucks. And I really don't know how these things weren't considered a little bit more. I get this is their first time doing it. When I've had a chance to talk with Sony San Diego Studios, talk about Weekend Classic, I didn't even bother asking these questions because I thought they were no-brainers. Next time I will. So it is so frustrating then, because I did enjoy playing Weekend Classic. Again, I've been wanting something like this for a very long time. Past the freeze-off incident that I had initially, the 6 games I played were all very intense, because I knew I was playing for great rewards, and so were my opponents. So it meant way more than just a regular ranked seasons game. Overall, I thought I played pretty well. I went 4-2, 4 wins, 2 losses at Gold 2 Division, and both my losses, I got walked off, so that shit sucked. But it was fun. When I won my first game, I got 40 show packs for that. That felt awesome. That felt great, and of course it is tailed to whatever league you are in. If I was at 1,000 and I won a game, I would have even better rewards. If I was at 400, I would not have gotten as great of rewards. But again, I do think there has to be some sort of scale. You can't reasonably give a 300 player the same credit for winning one game as someone at the 1,000 rating. I think it's great that people all across the board are getting rewarded. There's just things that have to be worked out because, again, I really do think they have something here. I think the Weekend Classic can be excellent. A game mode that promotes people to try and play their best going head-on-head against another human for some of the best rewards we've ever seen, whether it be packs or stubs or brand new exclusive players, which that's actually another thing that went wrong with the Weekend Classic. Again, they had the Weekend Classic packs, which were supposed to feature Carlos Correa and Corey Kluber, at least for like the first hour or so. Actually had 88 plus Live Series diamonds. Again, I showed the little man clip of him pulling Aaron Judge. It was actually an example of a glitch that was pretty good for people who played, of course. If you wound up getting one of those packs before they realized the mistake. Because, yeah, you'd probably rather have Aaron Judge than the Kluber. No disrespect to Kluber. So yeah, I wanted to talk about it for a little bit, get my thoughts out there, because I really do hope that they fix it and make things better for the next time. Again, like matchmaking. How do we solve people from smurfing? Well, just make matchmaking based off your max rating, or have matchmaking be based solely off who else is in your league, right? If I'm in Gold 2, I should play people in Gold 2. If you're in Immortal, you should play people in Immortal. Whatever the case may be, actually, it's so funny because the game literally says that. If you look at the main screen for Weekend Classic, it says battle league opponents for rewards. Your game is literally telling you what to do. Just lock it within leagues, and that is how people match up. And then the leaderboards being based off rating change, I think that's a fine way to do it. I know Madden, for their weekend league, they've got different stuff in there. They do factor in strength of schedule and whatnot, which the rating change does within ranked seasons in MLB The Show. But losses should count. Losses should be considered. I just don't think it's a great system where the number one player or the top 10, the people who get rewards, are just the people who wound up having the most time to win the most games. If you went 6-0, that's great, but you might not get rewards just because somebody went 10-32. That's not good. So let me know in the comment section if you guys played the first ever Weekend Classic. Let me know how you guys enjoyed it. What changes you would recommend for the next iteration that's going to happen in about a month after the brand new ranked seasons occurs this Tuesday. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this one as always. Catch you guys next time.